Then an old harrower of the dark happened to find the hoard open, the burning one who hunts out burrows, the slick-skinned dragon threatening the night sky with streamers of fire. People on the farms are in the dread of him. He is driven to hunt out hoards underground, to guard heathen gold through age-long vigils, though to no avail. For 3 centuries, the scourge of the people had stood guard on the stoutly protected underground treasury until the intruder unleashed its fury. He hurried to his lord with the gold-plated cup and made his plea to be reinstated. Then the vault was rifled, the ring hoard robbed, and the wretched man had his request granted. His master gazed on that find from the past for the first time.
When the dragon awoke, trouble flared again. He rippled down the rock, writhing with anger when he saw the footprints of the prowler who had stolen too close to his dreaming head. So may a man not marked by fate easily escape exile and woe by the grace of God. The hoard guardian scorched the ground as he scoured and hunted for the trespasser who had troubled his sleep. Hot and savage, he kept circling and circling the outside of the mound. No man appeared in that desert waste, but he worked himself up by imagining battle. Then back in he'd go in search of the cup, only to discover signs that someone had stumbled upon the golden treasures. So the guardian of the mound, the hoard watcher, waited for the gloaming with fierce impatience. His pent-up fury at the loss of the vessel made him long to hit back and lash out in flames. Then, to his delight, the day waned, and he could wait no longer behind the wall, but hurled forth in a fiery blaze. The first to suffer were the people on the land. Before long, it was their treasure giver who would come to grief.
The dragon began to belch out flames and burn bright homesteads. There was a hot glow that scared everyone, for the vile sky winger would leave nothing alive in his wake. Everywhere the havoc he wrought was in evidence. Far and near, the Geat nation bore the brunt of his brutal assaults and virulent hate. Then, back to the hoard he would dart before daybreak to hide in his den. He had swinged the land, swathed it in flame, in fire and burning, and now he felt secure in the vaults of his burrow. But his trust was unavailing. Then Beowulf was given bad news, a hard truth. His own home, the best of buildings, had been burnt to a cinder, the throne room of the Geats. It threw the hero into deep anguish and darkened his mood. The wise man thought he must have thwarted ancient ordinance of the eternal Lord, broken his commandment. His mind was in turmoil. Unaccustomed anxiety and gloom confused his brain. The fire dragon had razed the coastal region and reduced forts and earthworks to dust and ashes. So the war king planned and plotted his revenge. The warrior's protector, prince of the hall troop, ordered a marvelous all-iron shield from his smithy works. He well knew that linden boards would let him down and timber burn. After many trials, he was destined to face the end of his days in this mortal world, as was the dragon, for all his long leasehold on the treasure.
Yet the Prince of Rings was too proud to line up with a large army against the sky plague. He had a scant regard for the dragon as a threat, no dread at all of its courage or strength, for he had kept going often in the past, through perils and ordeals of every sort. After he had perched Hrothgar's hall, triumphed in Heorot, and beaten Grendel, he outgrappled the monster and his evil kin. One of the cruelest hand-to-hand encounters had happened when Hagallic king of the Geats, was killed. In Friesland, the people's friend and lord, Hrethel's son, slaked a sword blade's thirst for blood, but Beowulf's prodigious gifts as a swimmer guaranteed his safety. He arrived at the shore, shouldering 30 battle dresses, the booty he had won. There was little for the heat wear to be happy about, as they shielded their faces and fighting on the ground began in earnest. With Beowulf against them, few could hope to return home. Across the wide sea, desolate and alone, the son of Ecgtheow swam back to his people. There Hygd offered him throne and authority as lord of the ring hoard. With Hygelac dead, she had no belief in her son's ability to defend their homeland against foreign invaders. Yet there was no way the weakened nation could get Beowulf to give in and agree to the elevated heirdred of his lord, or to undertake the office of kingship. But he did provide support for the prince, honored and minded him until he matured as the ruler of the Geatland. Then overseas Rhodes exiles arrived, sons of Orthere. They had rebelled against the best of all, the sea kings in Sweden, the ones who held sway to the Scheifling nation, and the renowned prince lord of the mead hall. That marked the end of Hygelac's son. His hospitality was mortally rewarded with the wounds from a sword. Herdred lay slaughtered, and Onelia returned to the land of Sweden, leaving Beowulf to ascend the throne, to sit in majesty and rule over the Geats. He was a good king.
In days to come, he contrived to avenge the fall of his prince. He befriended Eadgils when Eadgils was friendless, aiding his cause with weapons and warriors over the wide sea, sending him men. The feud was settled on a comfortless campaign when he killed Onela. And so the son of Ecgtheow had survived every extreme, excelling himself in daring and in danger, until the day arrived when he had to come face to face with the dragon. The lord of the Geats took 11 comrades and went in a rage to reconnoiter. By then he had discovered the cause of the affliction being visited on the people. The precious cup had come to him from the hand of the finder, the one who had started all this strife, and was now added as a 13th to their number. They press-ganged and compelled this poor creature to be their guide. Against his will, he led them to the earth vault that he alone knew, an underground barrow near the sea billows and heaving waves, heaped inside with exquisite metalwork. The one who stood guard was dangerous and watchful, warden of that trove, buried under earth. No easy bargain would be made in that place by any man. The veteran king sat down on the cliff top. He wished good luck to the Geats who had shared his hearth and his gold. He was sad at heart, unsettled yet ready, sensing his death. His fate hovered near, unknowable but certain. He would soon claim his coffered soul, part life from limb. Before long the prince's spirit would spin free from his body.